Okay, we are back for the 6th episode of Jobbercast, which will also double as our Backlash preview show. But first, we have a Raw.
A really, really shit Raw.
This is a really bad Raw.
Well,
SmackDown wasn't any better, to be honest.
The first 2 hours of Raw were all right. The old day segment, which I guess we'll get to that, but that's when it started to turn for me.
Okay, we had the preview of last week's Raw. Oh, and we had... Do you see the thing of Stephanie talking on the phone? The phone on her iPhone is still green.
Yeah,
so it's like she's not even making a call at all.
Who was she talking to?
Yes. Kevin Dunn.
Well, I thought maybe she was talking to Hunter. I didn't watch the beginning of it. I kind of...
She didn't know. It was never explained, so...
Oh, all right then.
I don't think it was ever explained who she was talking to. She was talking to Mick Foley, and then Mick Foley walked into frame.
Well, she obviously wasn't talking to anybody.
Which obviously, yeah, if you look at the phone, she wasn't talking to shit. Because also when you put the phone to your ear, your screen goes black.
Mm-hmm.
So we shouldn't have been able to see the phone at all. She should have put it in sleep mode.
Yeah,
just put it to sleep and put it up to your ear. Never mind that. She was talking about the party pretty much they were going to throw for Kevin Owens, which is kind of weird. She's going to throw a party for Kevin Owens, seeing how the match had ended.
So, is Stephanie McMahon heel or face?
Yes.
Is Mick Foley heel or face?
Yes. Well, he's face.
So why is
you can draw a clear line with Mick Foley.
Okay, so why is he okay with Owens being the champ?
Because Stephanie's okay with it, and he's trying to work with Stephanie.
All right then.
He's trying to not be like, I don't know, what is that called? Like confrontational.
Fired.
That too. He's not trying to be fired either, because obviously, as we saw, Triple H is back, and he can easily take over his spot.
Mick Foley v. Stephanie McMahon. Clash of the Champions.
Clash of the Champions.
As Mick Foley was saying. Even though Clash of Champions is the WWE pay-per-view, Clash of the Champions is the WCW pay-per-view.
But Foley gives that really cool speech where he's like, how he's talking to the girl he met in '98, and he's the guy with the tooth in his nose.
And then Owens comes out, right?
Oh yeah, we got the Owens. Owens puts his belt up. That he looks up. He's just watching the fireworks. He's watching the fireworks. He's like, "That's what I wanted."
Which it was a kind of cool spot. And then Rollins.
Why does Rollins have to interrupt everything?
I don't know. Like rather. Okay, I don't know if he's heel or he's got to be
face.
He's got to be face now.
He's face.
Anyway, so he's face now. He comes out and interrupts the match. And here's my problem with this. And we'll also get to this later in the show. Rollins comes out and attacks KO. And because of the way the match ended, Rollins is automatically given a title shot at Clash of Champions. Roman was also eliminated by Triple H. So why does Roman have to earn his shot?
Roman was eliminated by Seth Rollins.
Okay, but he was pedigreed and then thrown into the ring by Triple H. And then Rollins covered him.
Because nobody cares about Roman Reigns.
But it doesn't make any kayfabe sense as to why Rollins... Because... If Mick Foley was healed...
What is it with Seth Rollins and getting titles stolen from him?
And getting constant title shots.
Kevin, you stole my title. I want that title back.
Okay, Rollins...
I never lost it. Actually, I never won that one to begin with.
Are you Vince McMahon or Seth Rollins?
Yes. They're basically the same voice, so...
Anyway, Rollins has been in the title picture since he came back. And honestly, it's getting a... Like, I love Rollins, but it's a little much. This is like... approaching Cena-esque levels.
Who else is going to fight for it? I put my hand on his shoulder, and now you will mourn.
But anyway, you got Roman, which no.
We got Finn Balor.
You can put
Triple H.
Rusev.
Dolph Ziggler.
AJ Styles.
Dean Amp. John Cena.
See, here's the thing. People keep saying the Raw roster is stacked. But SmackDown got all, like, the main title picture. Like, they pulled everybody from the main title picture. No,
this just showed how thin the main title picture was to begin with. Because Dolph Ziggler is not in the main title.
He was last month.
But should he have been?
Yes.
No.
Who else are you going to put in there?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that the main event slot for both shows, when they were together, was thin.
All right, I can see that.
And then you split it up, and you're forced to put Dolph Ziggler in there.
I mean,
who really at this point should just be an enhancement talent.
or like a mid-card.
He should be the WWE Ty Dillinger.
So him and the Miz just stay out of the title pictures.
Yeah.
Though you're starting to like the Miz.
I kind of like the Miz.
We'll get to SmackDown here in a minute. Where are we at? Rollins came out, earned a title shot somehow. Earned a title shot by beating up.
I was robbed again.
He earned a title shot by beating up the defenseless Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a victim here.
Kevin Owens is a victim.
I know the whole thing about it's not about what the title looks like, it's about what it stands for, but I can't like that title. I don't know. I'm not going to go boo it.
I don't care about it now. I really don't care.
I think eventually I get used to it.
I still say rip Shinsuke Nakamura's jacket. Because I'm pretty sure he's got it back now, but...
Well, it's just historically, whenever they've gone to these colored straps, eventually they just go back to black, and then...
I mean, the Intercontinental title's been white now since 2011.
Yeah. But I'm hoping maybe they'll just go back to a black strap, and it'll eventually look like the women's belt, but with a black strap instead.
At first I thought you were talking about the Intercontinental title. I was like, the Intercontinental title looks like a women's belt?
No. I'm talking about the Universal title.
I don't think that the Intercontinental title now would look good with a black strap, even though it did have a black strap before it went to the Attitude Era / all the way through the middle of the PG
Trivia
era
question:
title.
do you remember who brought back the current IC title?
Cody Rhodes.
Which version of Cody Rhodes?
Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Raw, right?
No, Dashing Cody Rhodes.
I couldn't remember.
Because it was post Legacy, and it was before he broke his nose. Because he lost that IC title to Rey Mysterio, I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember.
Or no, he wasn't that Cody Rhodes until he went to SmackDown.
Well, he had the mask.
He didn't get that until Rey Mysterio broke his nose on SmackDown. He was on Raw at the time.
But I remember him feuding with Orton, and he had the title.
Because he was on Raw. Orton was on Raw at the time. This would have been in 2011.
I just remember Cody putting the bags on people's faces while he had the title.
That was after Rey broke his nose.
Oh, okay.
When he was on when he got moved to SmackDown.
Which he might have legit broke his nose and then just kept the mask.
He probably did. He probably did actually break his nose and then just kept it.
I remember Orton always in that feud. Orton would always talk about it's unfair to wear that mask. It's like Orton, your dad wrestled with a cast.
Yeah, it's like your dad used a cast for 20 years. That arm still isn't healed. I'm pretty sure he showed up with it at WrestleMania 21 when he faced The Undertaker. I'm pretty sure Bob Orton still had the cast on. Bob, you gotta put the thing down. It's been 30 years. I think it's time. I think your arm's healed.
But then the next segment on Raw, if we can focus back because we keep getting off track, Bayley fought Charlotte.
And Becky Lynch, or not Becky, goddamn Becky Lynch. Dana Brooke. I don't know why I said Becky Lynch. Dana Brooke was taking notes, which I sent you the gif of Patrick playing tic-tac-toe on a clipboard.
Yeah,
that's probably about what the extent of what she was doing.
That's what I would have been doing.
She's just doodling.
She's
drawing her Bayley fan art.
She's either doing that or something we all did in high school is we're constantly writing bullshit down as the teacher's talking.
She's literally writing bullshit and the camera has to kind of stay away from it. They can't see what she's writing. She's just writing bullshit.
I'm 90% sure she called someone a slut in a match on a pay-per-view. I think she called Natty a slut or something like that.
I mean, it's on pay-per-view. Anything goes on pay-per-view.
Not anything.
You can say whatever you want on a pay-per-view. That's not FCC. FCC can't regulate
Except,
pay-per-view.
Even the ones that DirecTV still airs.
Yeah. That's pay-per-view.
Oh,
that's different.
Okay.
You can't do anything. That's not... They can get away with anything on pay-per-view. They don't. They still don't. They don't change anything. Except
the blood, mainly.
Even that, they don't do that anymore.
Orton.
That's different.
But they definitely showed Orton.
Bayley picks up the win after Dana Brooke got in the way again. As she usually does.
The match rating on this was a star and
3 out of 4. That doesn't make any sense.
Was that a star and 3/4? It's not 1.75?
Fucking blue, apparently.
Apparently that match was awful.
Thanks, WrestleView.
For some reason, Bayley got the win over Charlotte, and now, I don't really know.
We still don't know what it's going to be at Clash of Champions. We still don't know if it's going to be Charlotte v. Bayley or if it's going to be...
So Sasha confirmed that she's getting a title shot at Clash of Champions.
We don't know that. Mick Foley can be like, no, you're still not ready to compete.
No, she said Mick Foley said that she's getting a title shot.
But we don't know. It could be a triple threat. They could throw Bayley in and make it a triple threat.
And Sasha turns back to being heel, which she naturally is a heel. So
and she breaks Bailey's back. And we have like a Nightfall storyline with Bailey where somebody has to take her spot. And it's John Cena, because John Cena's the male version of Bailey. Because Bailey's basically a female John Cena.
John is not relatable in any way, shape, or form.
I relate to John Cena.
How do you relate to John Cena?
Name one thing. He's male. I'm male. He's over 6 feet tall. I'm over 6 feet tall. He's a nice guy. I've been told I'm a nice guy.
No, you're not.
He makes sick children happy. So do I.
No, you don't. I thought you were gonna go like he makes happy, or I make happy children sick, or something like that.
I relate to John Cena.
No, you don't. Anyway, I don't even know what was next.
Or no, they did the thing where the cruiserweights will be on Raw. Charlotte slaps the clipboard out of Dana's hand.
So how long until Dana turns on Charlotte?
Like, I thought it was gonna be tonight, but nah, fam. I guess not.
It's gonna be the pay-per-view. Fatal 4-way: Dana, Charlotte, Bailey, and Sasha. This is the Fatal 4-way we knew that we didn't know we wanted. Because
I still don't know if I want it.
Because Becky's gone now.
But then Bo Dallas appeared. A wild Bo Dallas appearance. After being arrested for public intoxication literally, what, 2 nights before? Or like a week before? It was a week before.
Hey, Zack Ryder, just go get arrested. And then you'll
get pushed. You'll be a monster heel, like apparently Bo Dallas.
Who, for some reason... Okay, I'm sorry.
Kyle Roberts sounds really familiar. Has he been a jobber in the WWE before?
I don't know.
I think he showed up on NXT.
There was Josh Roberts.
Yeah, but Kyle Roberts sounds really familiar.
But, okay.
Does he also like big, sweaty men? Because that's not what Bo Dallas is.
Braun Strowman has been in the WWE for about a year, and now he's getting squash matches. Bo Dallas has been on the main roster for a couple of years, but he had a singles run.
Like a year and a half, yeah.
It failed, and now they're giving him squash matches.
He still has the social outcast thing on his singlet, too.
At the WWE live event in London, he was wearing the outcast thing, but came out with Curtis Axel. So Axel
Where's
was
Curtis Axel, then?
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to pay him.
I don't want to pay him. I don't want to pay him either. Actually, he was my favorite out of all the outcasts in the ring.
But now who's your favorite out of the outcast?
Probably still Curtis Axel.
Really? It's not... Slater's the most over right now.
Well, he's the most... Like, if I'm going to watch a match, like an actual match, not like a comedic match, like not like Rhino and Heath Slater taking on the fucking Hype Bros, I'm gonna watch a Curtis Axel match. Because I like when Curtis Axel was the IC champ in 2013.
With Paul Heyman?
When he had Paul Heyman, when he was a Paul Heyman guy. I didn't mind Curtis Axel then. When they were really playing out the fact that he was Kurt Hennig's son. Even though they didn't put Hennig in his name at all.
Which I don't know why you wouldn't. Why can't you name him...
Like, why couldn't he be Curtis Hennig? That's his real name. Curtis Hennig is his real name.
Why couldn't we...
He's Curtis Hennig Jr. because Kurt Hennig was...
Why can't you just use
Mr.
that
Perfect.
name then? And call him Mr. Perfect Jr.?
Because they didn't want him to program like that at first, and then eventually that's like, oh, he's Kurt Hennig's son. Why can't he just be Kurt Hennig Jr., which is his real name? And had they done that, had he gone and tried to wrestle independent, he couldn't be Kurt Hennig Jr. Because WWE would own the rights to that name.
Like they...
Like he couldn't wrestle independently with...
Did you hear they're like not letting Rhodes use Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, he can't be Cody Rhodes.
Which is fucking retarded. Like, I'm sorry, that's stupid.
Has he appeared on TNA yet?
No, but he has apparently signed a contract with them.
I hope...
Rhodes Scholars reuniting.
Oh, but they won't be called Rhodes Scholars.
Rex something.
Rex Scholars.
Cody Rhodes needs a name that starts with a T, and they can be T-Rex.
I mean, they could still be called Rhodes Scholars, but they'd have to be like actual like Rhodes Scholars.
That'd be fucking hilarious if they actually like spelled it like Rhodes Scholars.
Or they could be Rogue Scholars.
Rogue Scholars.
Rogue One. It has a movie tie-in right there with Rogue One. They rebel.
They rebel against Dixie Carter. Oh, wait.
Against, what is his name? The guy from the Smashing Pumpkins.
I forgot his name.
I don't remember his name either now. I think he was the lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
But Bo Dallas goes over. I never thought I'd say that. Bo Dallas went over on, what was it? Kyle Roberts.
It was such a weird match to me.
And we had Chris Jericho and Seth Rollins.
Was that a good match to you?
That was a really good match to me.
He actually... Okay, so something that I noticed about that match is Jericho actually hit the Lion Salt.
Yeah.
That is the first time I think I've ever seen him hit the Lion Salt.
I thought they weren't letting him do that anymore.
I don't think because he said something about on Talk Is Jericho that they told him not to do it anymore.
Maybe it just comes naturally to him because he's been doing it for 20 years.
Or maybe Rollins was like, yeah, I'm not going to counter this. Like, let him hit it once. But it's still remarkable at like 45 years old he can hit that.
He's like, I feel for you, fam, because my pedigree gets reversed all the time too.
I was like, no, I feel for you because they also banned the curb stomp. Which is such an awesome finisher.
But it's so, like, not dangerous to the wrestlers, but it's dangerous for, like, kids who are stupid and try shit at home.
Well, that's why you put the don't try this at home, and then whenever they bash each other's
head in. But still, you still don't want children bashing each other's heads in whether or not you're getting sued or not.
Don't tell me my form of entertainment is wrong, okay?
I mean, because it really, to me, the only thing that was good for was setting up a cool reversal spot.
Like the RKO.
Like the RKO.
But see, like, I feel like the curb stomp is one of those moves that actually
I feel like, you know how cool it would have been had John been able to, like, transform that into an AA?
Also, like, the one thing I really liked about the curb stomp...
KO could turn into a powerbomb. Like, when he's going up, he just kind of grabs him and throws him down.
Like, one of the things about the curb stomp I like is that it seemed like it could put down anybody. Like, I feel like that's a realistic move to put down Brock Lesnar. Or that's a realistic move to put down John Cena. Like, I feel like a Superman punch isn't realistic to put down Lesnar. Because he takes punches all the freaking time. So, or like even a spear. I don't feel like that's a good move to put down Lesnar. I don't think
a spear should be a finisher at all.
So many people do it.
I know.
And then Roman just like...
But I feel like if Roman speared me, I think I could kick out of that. There
was something about Edge that made it different. Like, Edge made it look more impactful.
Like, Rhino makes it look devastating. Maybe it's because he's like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Ex-football player.
But what made Edge...
Goldberg also made it kind of look... Because Goldberg, like, jumped into you.
But what made Edge look... Like, made it look so...
It didn't.
It didn't look impactful to you with Edge?
It didn't.
I don't know. It just doesn't look... Like you said, doesn't look impactful to me from Roman.
I don't like the spear. Like, even Goldberg didn't use the spear as a finisher.
But see, now we have a problem with two people on the main roster using the spear as a finishing move. Someone's got to change. Roman just needs to go to the Superman.
Rhino's not going to change.
Romo. Roman just needs to go to the Superman punch as his finisher.
Even then, that's still not very good.
Then he needs something.
There's not very many good... Give him a powerbomb. Give him the
Samoan drop.
No, that roll through powerbomb they does, where like rolls up, looks like he's about to pin the guy, and then picks him up, and then fucking sit down powerbomb.
Or like Umaga's finisher.
That wasn't his finisher. The Samoan drop wasn't his finisher.
That thing where he like threw him in the air and then caught him and brought him down?
No, that was not his finisher.
Oh, I thought
it may have finished one or two people, but it's not his finisher.
Oh, his finisher was that like...
It was the Samoan spike.
Yeah.
Where he like jammed the thumb into the freaking like trachea, which, yeah, that's a finisher. That's gonna put me down because I can't breathe.
See, to me that finisher always looked ridiculous, but I knew it would hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, that's what gets me is like I want my finishers to look like finishers. Like I want those like if Kevin Owens powerbombed me, I'm probably gonna stay down.
If Sami Zayn Haluva kicks me, I'm probably gonna stay down.
Even though it's not really a finisher, the Blue Thunder Bomb, I'd probably stay down for that.
Well, considering I land on my back, yeah, I'm down. I'm probably dead. But this match was...
So Styles Clash. Styles Clash is a finisher. That is a finisher. Even though it hasn't finished that many people as of late.
So many people kick out of that.
No, he pinned John off the forearm, didn't he?
Yeah, he hit the Clash then to the forearm.
Which I guess technically the Clash did kind of finish him. Because it was part of the finish.
Yeah. But then Rollins went over Jericho. And was there really a point to that match, or was it just like Jericho was kind of bitching backstage? So McFoley was like, you're going to face Seth Rollins.
You attacked my best friend. Now I'm going to fight you.
And then Jericho lost.
And then they fight.
And then we got the best of 7 series between Cesaro and Sheamus, match number 3, which
Nobody cares, Sheamus won.
It was relatively short. Sheamus won. By the way, WWE Live in London,
Cesaro picked up a victory. So now he's only down 3-1, which means he's going to win the next 3.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know where this is going to culminate. It's not going to culminate at Backlash, obviously.
Hell in a Cell?
That's a Raw pay-per-view. Or, okay, this is Raw. It's going to... Okay, there's probably going to end at Clash of Champions. Because that's before Hell in a Cell. That's on September 23rd or something like that.
Yeah.
I think so, something like that.
Or it could
it's like 2 weeks after Backlash.
It could culminate like before, and then they just use that title shot as a, because remember, whoever wins gets a Universal title shot.
They never said Universal.
No, it's got to be Universal.
They just said title shot. It could be a U.S. title shot.
But the way they've been playing it up is going to be Universal.
I'm not taking that until they say Universal. I bet you that's going to be part of the storyline. Like, Cesaro's going to win. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be the next Universal champion. And Steph's going to be like, well, I never said Universal. And she brings out Rusev. And Rusev just freaking crushes him like he does everybody else. Or that's a way to get the belt off of, put your phone away. Put that beef away.
I'm researching to see if it's a Universal shot or a title shot.
They never said Universal. I don't care what any of your research says, as long as until they say Universal, it's not a Universal title shot. It could be anything. It could be a Cruiserweight title shot, even though neither of them are Cruiserweights. So Cesaro takes on Kota Ibushi for the Cruiserweight title. And still loses.
Ibushi's not going to win the Cruiserweight title.
Who is?
He's not signing with WWE, so...
He's on NXT. What are you talking about he's not signing with WWE?
No, wait, who the fuck am I thinking?
I think you're thinking of probably one of the other Japanese superstars. Because there's like 4 of them.
When was the last time Ibushi was on NXT?
He was on like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I don't think he signed his contract.
I mean, I saw online that he signed his contract. He signed a developmental contract.
Was it Zack Sabre Jr. and someone else?
It might not be Zack. It might be Zack Sabre Jr. Because I'm pretty sure Kota Ibushi, because he's probably gonna win the whole thing. They're not gonna have him win the whole thing if he's not gonna sign.
I can't find anything, but anyway.
Like,
I'm pretty sure.
Why would you have Kota Ibushi win? Because he's gonna win more than likely. Like, there's probably I think a 95% chance Kota Ibushi wins.
What about Perkins?
I still think Kota Ibushi's gonna win just because he's the highest name. He's the biggest name.
But he hasn't been announced for Raw yet, with the other cruiserweights.
So.
Perkins has.
So.
I want TJ Perkins to win. Leave me alone.
Well, I wanted Cedric Alexander to win, but
he already signed his WWE contract. Get over it. You'll see him on Raw.
I don't care. I want him to win. I want him to be the Cruiserweight champion. I like him.
I still don't know if it's actually for the Cruiserweight title or not.
I don't know. It might
because
not
they
be.
unveiled a trophy that the winner's going to get.
I would imagine the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic would be also the first Cruiserweight champion.
They'll have a tournament.
They're going to have another tournament. Except, how many Cruiserweights are they signing?
Like 16.
They're signing like... How many? Oh, they started out with 32. That's right. I would say it's like so they signed the entire Cruiserweight Classic.
They started with 64.
Did they start with 64? Because I thought
it was like 8 rounds.
I thought they skipped the round at 64 and just went straight to 32.
No,
I couldn't remember.
But
that's a lot of people.
I think they may sign like
I know
a few.
I know they signed Tajiri. Tajiri's going to be around for a little bit.
But you'll still have cruiserweights that are on the main roster. Neville.
Finn Balor technically.
And Neville.
Finn Balor is technically a cruiserweight.
The belt apparently has a purple strap, so it'll match Neville, so it'll be okay.
Hopefully it doesn't look like all the other fucking belts.
No, from what the dude on Reddit said, it's a new design.
It better be. It's like the WWE title but smaller.
It's gonna be miniature.
Yeah, it's a ring.
It's gonna be that. It's gonna be your fake title, but with a purple strap.
It's gonna be a ring. They're wearing a ring. I got rings.
Okay, but anyway, next is
Primo and Epico.
Who?
Primo
Los Matadors?
Yeah. Carlito's cousin and brother.
I thought they were both his cousins.
No, I thought that too. One of them is his brother. I think it's Primo. I think Primo is his brother.
So how long until we got Carlito back? Because
I thought he'd be back by now.
Literally, I think Carlito is the only thing that can save this team.
I mean, they're getting somewhat over.
A little bit, but then...
Like, I'm actually starting to like them talking about Puerto Rico. Like, they're being portrayed as villains. They're trying to save their home country from financial collapse. But they're...
Oh, my God.
They're heels. Like, we just want to save our country from financial collapse.
Was it Muhammad Hassan who was supposed to be face?
No. No, he was never supposed to be face. He should have been.
Oh, okay.
He should have been like... I'm trying to prove to you Americans that not all, like, Muslims are bad. But no, he's a bad Muslim. God damn it.
Gotta love Vince.
Well, now we have Daivari's brother, so maybe he can be a not bad Muslim. In fact, I don't even know if he's even Muslim.
Has he signed a WWE
deal He was on NXT last night.
Oh, okay.
He teamed with... he had a beard. I don't remember his name. He had a beard. Was it TJ
James
Perkins?
Storm.
Was it T.J. Perkins?
I'm pretty sure Perkins is clean cut.
I don't remember. For some reason, T.J. Perkins jumped out at me. I don't remember who he teamed with.
But anyway.
He teamed with another one of the Cruiserweight Classic guys.
Shining Stars get a victory over Enzo and Cass.
Which was odd.
Yeah. But maybe they're trying to build up Shining Stars to actually be some sort of threat.
But are they going to... They're supposed to fight at Class Champions, aren't they?
I honestly have no idea.
I think that was the thing they said last night. Or Monday night. Not last night, Monday night.
That they're going to fight at Clash of Champions?
Yeah. It's probably going to be like a pre-show thing.
Winner gets the number 1 contenders match.
And the Sami Zayn being interviewed by Tom Phillips, where Tom Phillips was probably having to basically squat because he's taller than almost...
Conspiracy.
He's taller than almost every superstar on the roster. He's like 6'2" or something like that. I know, especially when he does the Jericho interviews, he stands like really like spread-legged, so that Jericho, him and Jericho are like almost the same height.
Because Jericho's kind of short.
Jericho's like 5'11", I think.
Imagine whenever he was interviewing Styles.
He had to sit down.
Because Styles is like 5'7".
He's 5'8".
Oh, he's 1 inch taller than me.
He probably had to sit down. Take a seat. He just sits down.
But Zayn did mention that, like, he said he'll eventually win the title and he won't have it handed to him on a silver platter. And my immediate thought was, we're going to get Zayn Owens before we want Zayn Owens again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like, it's a great feud, but you can't do it twice in the same year.
They could fight Hell in a Cell.
They could.
Hell in a Cells are good feud destroyers.
I still think they need to do 3 stages of Hell and just straight up rip off Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
They fought in Hell in a Cell too.
Yeah, but I want to see 3 stages of Hell.
Bad Blood 04. That was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell. And then Nia Jax wrecked another middle schooler.
Yeah, we're just going to move on from that.
It's Ann Esposito, though, who is apparently friends with Alicia Fox.
And then Fox was like going crazy backstage and smacked Nia Jax on the face.
You could totally tell that wasn't planned. She went, like, are you okay? And then she like did the like jump at her. It was so funny.
Oh my god! But yeah, so that's gonna end in Alicia Fox dying.
I love how Nia had to like shake it off too. She's like, "What the fuck? Why'd you do that?"
And then like shoved her into the table or something.
Yeah. Get the hell out of here.
So yeah, there was that.
Okay, can we? I don't even want to talk about the old day segment.
No, we need.
I don't want to talk about it.
We have to talk about it.
You can talk about it. I'm skipping.
Okay, well the old day segment sucked ass.
It was
Next.
terrible.
That was
awful.
like the worst New Day segment they've ever had.
It was the worst club segment too. Like you efficiently killed 2 stables.
You took a stable that could have been a legitimate badass stable and turned them into a bad comedy act.
Like, you can do that. You can do comedy. Like DX was a comedy group who fucked everything up.
But they got serious when it was time to get fucking serious.
Like, well, so Gallows and Anderson, they've been kind of winning, except at Money in the Bank, where it mattered.
Yeah. But
they need a third member.
They do.
They need to bring in,
because it's not a club right now; it's a duo.
My favorite like fan theory is like them joining up with the Revival, and the Revival being the.
You could do that, or bring up
like
Shinsuke.
They would have either Finn or AJ as the leader. Like, no, AJ would be the leader of like the SmackDown club, and he would have the Revival as his thugs.
Finn and Gallows and Anderson.
And then Finn would have Gallows and Anderson.
Where Shinsuke fit in?
Well, he was never in the Bullet Club.
Everyone's theory is that Shinsuke's got to join them because they all wrestled together in Japan.
But he was never in the Bullet Club in Japan.
Yeah.
In fact, he wrestled against the Bullet Club in Japan.
Yeah, but Gallows and Anderson...
He should wrestle against the Bullet Club here. He should be the one who goes up against the Bullet Club. Or the club.
Him, Itami, and Ibushi.
The 3 Japanese guys go up against the fake Japanese guys.
Against the TNA guys.
against AJ Styles' friends from Japan.
So whenever Rude and Samoa Joe and AJ Styles all come up, are
they're gonna form a TNA faction.
No,
and then eventually James Storm's gonna come by probably.
No,
so.
like I want Rude, Joe, Storm, and Styles all in a ring like for the titles. Like I feel like we've been here before.
I don't know. Storm probably wouldn't have been in there, but yeah, Rude, Joe.
Storm had a couple runs.
But Storm wouldn't have probably been in there at the same time as Rude. I think he fought Rude like twice for the world title.
But I'm just saying, like it would have all been like a TNA like segment.
Like, did Austin Aries even win the TNA world title?
And then the Hardy Boy music hits, and they come out as Broken Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Did Austin Aries ever even win the TNA world title?
Yeah.
I only remember him as the X Division champ.
He cashed in his X Division championship.
Oh,
Remember,
I think he's the only one to do that.
No, he's not the only one. He was the first to do the Option C thing.
Oh,
where they cashed in their they forfeited their Division X title for a shot at the World Heavyweight title at any at the next pay-per-view or whatever.
That's a really good concept.
It is, except for it's by TNA.
Well, I mean, they were doing that back in 2005 too, around the same time as the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and they've apparently been doing better lately. But really, the only reason I would tune in is for the Broken Hardy segments.
They don't have any big stars that I want to see other than maybe EC3 and Galloway. I really don't care about Lashley. I didn't care about Lashley when he was here before.
They have the Hardys.
I mean that too, but that's a given. We all want to see Final Deletion guys. But I didn't care about Lashley when he was here the first time, when he was in WWE.
Lashley's not here anymore? What about that dude that comes out and does flips and smiles all the time?
Well, he's like Bobby Lashley, except Bobby Lashley didn't smile as much.
He was always serious, wasn't he?
He was very serious. He was like take Apollo Crews and mix him with Lance Storm. If I can be serious for a minute, Apollo Crews is not.
I saw a picture about Apollo Crews and it was like, Apollo, your leg has been severely damaged, and then it shows Crews smiling. It's like, we're gonna have to amputate it. Your leg is gone, and he's still smiling. A Crews is never gonna be able to pull off being a heel.
No.
We keep getting sidetracked.
We had Taz O'Neill on commentary.
Why would they give him a live mic after last week?
He didn't do too terrible. He didn't do bad. He didn't do that bad.
Yeah, but I'm going to make sure that,
a lot of superstars just can't do commentary because they don't know how to respond.
Ambrose is decent at it.
But, you give a lot of these guys... Miz is awful at commentary, but they do it... but they put him on commentary every week.
Because he's good on the mic, but he's not good on commentary, which is weird.
He's not good in conversations, is what I'm hearing. Got up and distracted him, but he still won.
Yeah.
The gut check is still a really cool finisher. That is a finisher.
I forget what he does.
It gets him up like he's going for a GTS or an AA, and then he throws him up, and they land on his knees.
Yeah, okay.
That's a finisher. That's gonna knock the air out of me, and I'm probably not gonna get up for a little bit.
I like the
and it's really cool looking too. It's got some spectacle to it.
I was gonna say the GTS is one, but the way Punk did it is different than the way Itami does it, because Itami forces his knee upwards and it makes it look like he's actually connecting. Punk just kind of let them fall onto his knee. Itami looks.
Still, the GTS is devastating looking.
Yeah.
Because you're taking a knee to the jaw or to the face,
or to the nose,
depending on where you land. More than likely you're taking it to the jaw, and that hurts.
But then the next segment was Braun Strowman versus Rey Mysterio. I mean, Sin Cara.
No, Kalisto is Rey Mysterio.
Oh, that's right. What is Sin Cara?
Crap.
Braun Strowman versus Hunico. So Hunico versus Camacho in this match. Braun Strowman should be the new Camacho.
The new Camacho.
But anyway, Sin Cara comes out to new music, which I didn't really like.
I didn't even notice. I didn't know Sin Cara was there until...
Strowman sold a little bit this match, and it wasn't pretty. He's not very good at that. He might need to improve on that before they get him out of these squash matches. No. But I kind of like that, is that they showed the jobbers obviously stood no chance, but then
Sin Cara's not a jobber per se.
Yeah, they actually let Sin Cara get in some offense, which I think is the way to do it. Ryback went from squashing local talent to squashing Heath Slater to a title shot with CM Punk.
Goldberg went from squashing local talent to squashing Hulk Hogan, so
what they're doing with Lesnar now?
And it worked.
So what they're doing with Lesnar right now?
Except Lesnar's not squashing local talent. He's smashing main event talent.
Yeah. I mean, that match with John Cena for the title was essentially a squash match where he suplexed it, the first match where he
16 times or whatever.
And then it started Suplex City, which was cool for about 3 months.
It was cool for the next match.
And then it got old because he doesn't do anything else now. Suplex, sell a bit, F5.
I want to see him, you know how Randy sandbagged him? Mm-hmm. I want to see, the Big Show sandbag him. Because I'm pretty sure Brock could probably still lift him.
Yeah, but
it's going to look way more awkward.
And also Show's probably going to land on his head.
If Brock can get him over his head, that's the thing. You have to take 500 pounds and put it over your head.
I'm sure Brock...
Not that I'm doubting Brock's ability to do it. That's going to be way harder to 500 pounds of dead weight.
Yeah. But see, it looks
more... And it's 7 feet.
Yeah. When they dead weight to me, though, it looks way more impactful.
But it's 10 times more dangerous.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe that's
it's 100 times more dangerous.
Maybe that's what Randy was trying to do. He was trying to make it look more impactful. He wasn't trying to make Brock look weak.
No, he's trying to... Would that really make Brock look weak, though?
Because he was still doing it, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because Randy's still, like, what, 240, probably?
Yeah. But after, like, as you guys can tell, after the old day segment, this show just kind of started to...
Suck.
Yeah. Because then we got Sasha Banks deliver some bad news to the...
Because she's... I'm afraid I have some bad news.
I text you whenever I sent that screenshot, and I was like, Sasha's going to, like, bring back Wade Barrett.
She's like, I don't want to talk about this, so I'm going to bring out my friend Wade. And, like, that podium rises up.
Bring out my friend Stu.
He's got the gavel.
He comes back and starts going by Stu Bennett, his real
Stu
name.
Bennett.
But she comes out and tries to deliver some bad news, and then Dana Brooke comes out, tries to fight.
But what did we all think the bad news was?
I thought she was just going to say she's going to be out longer than...
That looked like a retirement face that she had on.
To me, it looked like I thought she was just going to be...
She had on that... She did a whole, like, career summary. That usually comes before a retirement.
But see, there was no leaks about it being a retirement.
There were no leaks about Edge retiring either.
I didn't watch wrestling then, so...
And Edge retired right the night after WrestleMania. Edge is gone. There was no leaks about Daniel Bryan. There was some leaks about he might retire.
But Daniel Bryan
later on.
Daniel Bryan also tweeted out, "I'm retiring tonight."
But that was also really like a shock. Like what the speech Sasha gave sounded a lot like the speeches Edge and Daniel Bryan gave, which are retirement speeches.
But then, like near the end of that, Dana Brooke came out and tries to fight Sasha. She gets locked into a bank statement, and then Sasha said, "Like the bad news I had was for Charlotte. I'm cleared." And
she's not cleared. She's not cleared.
Oh, I thought she was cleared.
If she was cleared, she would have wrestled that night. I mean, she was healthy enough to put on a bank statement, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
It's a crossface.
Sasha drops her with the bank statement and makes her tap out. Sasha actually Miss Piggy. Oh my God! Don't do this again. They've called someone Miss Piggy before. I don't remember who it was.
It was
Was it Mickey James?
Mickey James, Piggy James. Oh, and Vicky Guerrero as well.
This never ends well. But anyway, the bad news wasn't for
Be a star.
It was for Charlotte. Let her know at Clash of the Champions. That title is coming back to me. See, that to me confirmed that she has a title shot at Clash of Champions.
But then we had Zayn vs. Owens, which was a pretty good match. And Owens went over. And then,
there wasn't like anything special in this match.
Not really. And
then we revert back to the old era. New era, same old shit with Roman Reigns coming out to massive boos. But, okay, so here, back to the thing I was talking about earlier. Why does Reigns have to earn a title shot when Rollins was handed one?
Because that sets up a match for Raw. That books a match for next week's Raw that they didn't have before.
Roman has to beat the champion in order to get a shot.
It's fine. He's probably not going to win.
Rusev's going to come back and screw him.
No, they were saying that he'd go to a program with Jericho while Rusev is on his honeymoon. And then when Rusev comes back, they get back into their program.
Yeah.
Because Rusev is still gone.
Injured.
I don't think they're playing it off as injury.
Oh.
I think they're playing it off as his honeymoon. Because they got married for Total Divas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Is she part of Total Divas now?
I think so.
Or the Divas were just there?
I think she's part of Total Divas.
I don't know.
Renee's going to be on next season. Which means her thing with Dean Ambrose is going to be completely public.
And, which, speaking of, on Talking Smack, I guess we'll get... But, no. Fuck it. We're doing it now. On Smack...
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
On Talking Smack, they were talking about Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. And it was Daniel Bryan and Renee Young talking. And Daniel said, well, who do you think is going to win? She goes, well, I think Ambrose is going to win. He goes, well, of course you think Ambrose is going to win. And Dolph comes into the frame a minute later. He goes... She said something about, yeah, I wish I could pick all my girlfriends to win their matches too. And Renee throws a pin at Dolph or something like that.
Okay, so, fuck Raw.
Yeah, Raw's done.
I was hoping SmackDown would open with AJ still on the ropes.
That's what someone said, is SmackDown should have opened with AJ still on the ropes.
They moved the ring with AJ still on it. I couldn't even... Oh, yeah. I told you about this opening segment. It sucked.
That wasn't a great opening segment, I'll say that.
Start off with Daniel Bryan. They didn't even start off... his music wasn't even playing when they went live. He said... remember, he started off... He was just doing the yes.
Yeah.
It was just silent. Except for the fans. It was just him and the fans. And then, oh shit, we're live. Play his music.
This...
Thank you, Kevin Dunn.
this show was a really like bad show in terms of technical standpoint. Whenever the Usos came out, did you notice whenever the Usos came out, their pyro was off?
Everything was bad.
Like, did you see that?
I didn't care because everything was bad.
No, they did their whole thing, and then they did the like when we say "oosh," y'all say "oh," and then they did the jump, and they hit the ground, and like 3 seconds later the pyro went off. It was really bad.
It's on a delay. Yeah, we started with Daniel Bryan doing his yes thing in the ring with the women's title right there. He's like, I'm gonna
the Smackdowns.
What the fuck ever.
Title.
I think they should have been called like the World Women's Title and like the WWE Women's Title or some shit like that. I don't like it.
No, because that makes one more important than the other.
The Universal Women's Championship.
The Milky Way Women's Championship or whatever Daniel Bryan said. But
this basically just ended in a brawl between all 6 competitors, or the heels versus faces. I'm basically just trying to get through this. This is just garbage.
I mean, it had its moments. It was better than Raw.
No, it wasn't. To be honest, I enjoyed Raw better than this.
I enjoyed SmackDown better than Raw, but that was just from a couple moments. Then we had
the only thing that made SmackDown better than Raw was that it was only 2 hours.
No, I'll tell you what made SmackDown better than Raw in a minute. But anyway, The Miz with Maurice against Apollo Crews.
Creed.
No point to this match. We kind of knew who was going to win.
It was a SummerSlam rematch. Like, this is weird.
And then Miz ends up...
They're playing it off as if it's not a SummerSlam rematch.
Miz ends up winning with the skull-crushing finale. And then we had a 6-woman tag match.
Well, you forgot about the Ziggler thing, where Ziggler was challenging Miz because Dolph had his title. He went and grabbed the title from the bell keeper. Is the bell keeper supposed to, keep that? But he basically just like laid out in the ring. He's like challenging Miz to come get it. And you see Miz like whisper something to Maurice. And Maurice like walks up to the ring and just takes it. Like, what just stopped Dolph from just grabbing it himself? And
what also stopped Dolph from just super kicking Maurice?
A lot of things.
Like?
The fact that a man's hitting a woman.
And? She deserved it. It's okay. She got in the ring.
What the hell?
She got in the ring with Ziggler.
Domestic violence is never okay.
If you get in the ring with Dolph Ziggler, you are agreeing to get super kicked. This is the way it's going to go.
Like, I don't think the sponsors would have been very happy about Dolph Ziggler kicking a woman.
Okay, he could have gone for it.
But they were happy about him kicking a chicken. Come on, PETA. Get your shit together.
It wasn't a real chicken.
So?
That's how Ziggler earned a title shot. I just realized
By
that.
beating the Miz dressed as a giant chicken? No, Dolph Ziggler didn't beat him. Colonel Sanders beat him. There's a difference. That's like saying oh crap. What's the Undertaker's name? Goddamn.
Mark Calloway.
Mark Calloway, that's what it is. That's like saying Mark Calloway was undefeated at WrestleMania. Mark Calloway was not undefeated at WrestleMania until Brock Lesnar. The Undertaker was undefeated at WrestleMania.
Well, technically, if you say Mark Calloway is undefeated at WrestleMania, you aren't lying.
You're not lying, but you're not correct.
But I am.
You're not correct. It's not Mark Calloway. It's the Undertaker.
Mark Calloway's never been beaten at WrestleMania.
That's like saying Kane was fake Diesel.
Kane is fake Diesel.
He's not, though.
Oh, and kayfabe. Okay.
Glenn Jacobs is fake Diesel. He's also Isaac Yankem.
But see, then we got Dolph like kind of breaking kayfabe and talking about like I was a cheerleader.
He does that every week.
And I was a caddy.
I feel like he does that every week. He always has now every week he has to bring up the Spirit Squad and what was it, Melvin White, whatever the hell Chavo Guerrero's name was.
Kerwin White.
And it was something extremely white, and then white at the end.
Oh my god.
I hate wrestling.
But you love it at the same time. So then next we had the 6-women's tag match that was essentially a rematch from SummerSlam, but you switched Carmella and Nikki Bella.
Boring.
It's the winners were Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella.
Carmella locked in that
the silent talk?
Code of Silence.
Code of Silence.
I saw somebody on Reddit who was like, I wouldn't mind having Carmella put me in the Code of Silence.
Yeah, I saw that comment too. But then, after that, we went to the Usos versus American Alpha.
Okay, this was the only good moment of...
Okay, so the match starts, and the Usos like start attacking Alpha, and I immediately think, like, did the Usos just turn heel?
I was like, this is really heelish.
Like, that's kind of fucked up. And then, like, Alpha wins the match,
and
like,
then,
30 seconds.
Immediately Grand Amplitude, it's over.
And then the Usos, like, start to shake their hands, and then Jason Jordan eats a super kick, and then they, like, destroy Chad Gable's knee. Obviously, Usos turn
Also,
heel.
apparently, that eliminated American Alpha. Like, the Chad Gordon. Chad Gable was kayfabe injured, so they're no longer
Yeah,
in the
they did
tournament.
that. They talked about that on Talking Smack.
I didn't see it I just saw it on Twitter. But the Usos are taking their spot.
Here's my theory for it. I think they wanted Slater and Rhino to win the tag
they
titles,
do.
but they didn't want...
They didn't want them to go over Alpha.
Yeah, they didn't want Alpha to lose to anybody. So this sets up for Alpha to be gone a few weeks, come back and challenge...
Because he's set up a Jason Jordan's tiny singles run like they did with Big Cass.
So this eliminates Alpha for the next few weeks. Slater and Rhino win the tag titles. Alpha comes back, goes into rivalry with the Usos, and then they move on to the tag team titles.
Yeah.
And then the Revival come up.
The Revival?
The Revival.
The Rawvival, more like it.
SmackDown needs more teams.
I know. So does Raw, dude. Everybody needs teams at this point. Like, one of them's going to get the Revival, the other one's going to probably get, like, TM6-1.
So how long until, like, Cena and Orton team up like Hogan and Savage?
Since Ciampa and Gargano are going to be on the Cruiserweight division on Raw, I think they should also be a tag team.
Probably. They really should.
They're a really good team, and I love them.
So, like, you know how Hogan and Savage teamed up?
Yeah.
Can we get Cena and Orton?
Or Cena and Styles?
As, like, the new Mega Powers?
The new Mega Powers. It'd make more sense if it was Cena and Orton, because they're more the Macho Man, Hulk Hogan of this era.
Phenomenal RKO?
Well, that'd be for AJ.
Yeah.
But for Cena, Orton, it'd be like...
The RKO that runs the place.
The RKO that
I don't know. The Vipers are here.
The Viper is here. We're here. Oh, we didn't talk about Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton.
Did that
I
even show
think that
up?
was like... Where was that? That's not even in this recap. But that was a thing, kind of. Where Bray did that thing on the Titantron and then Randy did that backstage interview.
Which someone pointed out, like, Randy's story makes completely no sense because his story took place in the winter with a snake. But the problem is snakes are
cold-blooded. They're not out in the winter.
I think it was on What Culture where King Ross was like, cold-blooded plus cold equals dead.
And he was like, WTF. I hate King Ross. I don't want to listen to King Ross ever on What Culture.
Really?
Just because of the way he says W.
WW.
It sounds so awful.
But anyway, after the Usos thing, we had
This is terrible. This killed the rest of the show for me. This fucking Fandango bullshit.
Can we talk about Kane's new gimmick of just killing cringe segments? Because that's amazing.
I mean, it's an amazing gimmick. I wish he would be on both shows.
So he could have come out and ended the old day segment.
The old day segment, the Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, he just comes there and just takes care of them both.
I don't think he can chokeslam either one of those.
What do you mean?
I don't think he should. You were just talking about how
he
Dolph
can do it to Nia because Nia's a bit stronger than everybody else.
But you literally just talked about like 5 minutes ago how Dolph can't kick Maurice.
But Maurice is a valet. She's not a superstar.
She used to be a superstar, close enough.
She was a diva.
Kane tombstone Pete Rose 3 times.
Pete Rose is a man. He's an athlete.
Okay.
He's a gambler.
Like, you can't excuse...
He took a gamble by taking that tombstone.
3 of them.
3 of them. In 3 separate WrestleManias.
You think we'll ever see him back to take another tombstone?
That'd be hilarious if he showed up at like WrestleMania 34 and just takes another tombstone from Kane.
Kane's retirement match.
Against Pete Rose. Dressed as the chicken. Dressed as the gobbledygooker again.
No, please.
I can't remember which one that was. I think that was like WrestleMania like, I think 15. He was dressed up as the gobbledygooker.
Alright, but then after Kane came out and chokeslammed Fandango, we had the Hype Bros versus Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yay, the Hype Bro.
And
I still think Mojo Rawley is just like a figment of, like that's his gimmick, is that he's a figment of Zack Ryder's imagination.
the announcers just start pretending like Mojo isn't really there.
Yeah, and it's like, there's a big clothesline by Ryder, and it's Mojo.
Ryder just tagged in Ryder.
Ryder's taking on this handicap match. He's going for a hot tag, but there's nobody in his corner. Wait, Ryder's up all of a sudden. What the hell is going on here?
But Ryder's also on the outside of the ring.
No, like, Ryder's like acting like he's also Mojo. So like he reaches up for a tag, but there's nobody there. He swats his hand out, jumps up, and goes for like the hot tag thing.
Okay, but anyway, Slater and Rhino go over, and is that SmackDown?
Yes, that was the main event of SmackDown.
Oh my god.
Oh no, we had Dean and AJ.
Why is this not on here? Okay, so this didn't talk about in-ring segments except for the Kane thing. All right, makes sense. Yeah, Dean and AJ came out and Dean, holy shit, Dean is so good on the mic.
The face that comes in second place or whatever.
He's like, yeah, we don't hand out trophies to people in this place who like end in second place or something.
We don't hand out trophies to the face who comes in second place.
But anyway, Dean is.
You made it sound way less cool.
Yeah, I really did. But Dean is so fucking good on the mic. It is ridiculous. AJ's not bad.
He's gotten way better. Oh my god, he used to be terrible.
AJ or Dean?
AJ. Like in
TNA, like
near the end of his TNA run, like that was like the worst thing I ever heard.
But he obviously got better over in Japan.
Was he even cutting promos in English?
Yes, actually.
That's odd. Do the fans understand? Because I know a lot of them do speak English or understand English.
I feel like for some reason English is like
it's almost a worldwide language at this point.
I guess it's super easy to learn or something.
It's not easy to learn at all.
Really?
No, it's actually considered to be one of the hardest languages to learn because we have so many dialects.
True.
I think Japanese would probably be second because like even though Japanese doesn't like Japan doesn't have like a whole lot of like places to be. Mm-hmm. There's so many versions of Japanese.
Well, that and read and read are spelled the
same.
Because
like apparently it's actually very hard for Shinsuke to talk to Asuka. Because Shinsuke speaks the Kyoto type of Japanese while Asuka speaks the Osaka type like dialect. And apparently they're very different.
Is that just like it's a completely different language, right?
What do you mean?
Like it's not
between Kyoto and Osaka?
It's just not like different.
They're different
accents.
dialects. Like it's hard for us to understand somebody from England.
Yeah,
because it's a different type of English.
I was gonna say New York.
Well, it kind of is that too. Like it's a different dialect. Like the people in Ireland speak a different type of English than the people in England. People in England speak a different type of English than the people in the United States and Canada. Us in Canada, we speak virtually the same English.
All right. So now, what's the next thing?
We're gonna move into Backlash.
I don't know if you want to do the main event.
No, main event is the main event.
Shut up.
We go last.
Backlash.
I don't think. Well, I don't think there's a confirmed order, but I would imagine this is probably pretty close to the order.
I may pull it up on the wiki just in case because your last website wasn't that good.
I just clicked it just because I needed a SmackDown recap because I don't remember anything.
Maybe you should write it down whenever you're watching.
No, I ain't got that kind of time. I ain't got time for that. The videos in this like article don't match up with like anything at all.
Okay, so one of the weird things about Backlash is it's supposed to be like 3 hours, right?
I don't know if it's going to be 3 hours.
There's 6 matches.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be a 2-hour show.
That's so weird. Okay.
I'm fine with it being a 2-hour show.
Were pay-per-views 2 hours back before?
I don't know. They kind of had varying time lengths depending on what all was going on.
Yeah. But anyway.
Fucking SummerSlam was like, counting the pre-show, like 6 hours.
The first match that I'm looking at on this card is The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler.
For the Intercontinental title.
Who goes over?
The Miz.
Cleanly?
Maybe not clean, but he goes over. He wins.
Do you think The Miz, because I'm going to pick The Miz too, do you think they'll actually have The Miz go on like this run and like try to beat Honky Tonk Man's record?
I mean, he might talk about it, but he's probably going to lose after what's Honky Tonk's? Like a little more than a year? It's like 400-something days?
Yeah.
He'll probably make it this close to a year, like really close. Really, really close to a year, and then he'll lose to probably some NXT call-up.
Shinsuke.
Shinsuke's going to win the IC belt.
Why not?
Shinsuke's on SmackDown. Shinsuke's going to be on Raw.
Yeah. Rude.
Maybe. Rude's a little old to be winning minor belts.
Joe.
Could be Joe. I could definitely see it being Joe. I could see that being before the end of the year. Joe wins.
I could see that next month. Depending on when.
Well, no, because the TakeOver Toronto isn't until
have they already said that's where the rematch is going to be?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So we both say Miz.
I mean, it'd be stupid to have it anywhere else.
I mean, Shinsuke was on NXT.
But that wasn't for a title.
And they gave an entire episode to that match.
But it also wasn't for a title.
Yeah. So then the next match I have up here is Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt.
I think we're looking at the same thing.
I'm looking on Wikipedia. So Randy Orton
Randy's going to go over. And it's unfortunate.
Bray needs to win.
But he's not going to get it.
Bray really needs to win.
Because Bray can take these losses and still be a strong character. If Randy loses, he kind of loses that little bit of credibility.
I feel like eventually Bray's got to lose his credibility.
I mean, he's lost.
Dude's won one feud in a year.
But he's still credible. He's still a threat.
Because the character is creepy. But eventually, that's just going to be like, all right, you need to win something. Like, you keep getting all these top matches.
None of these rivalries have anything, like, to gain or to lose. Like, Bray doesn't get anything from winning or losing this feud, and neither does Orton. In fact, Orton only loses from this feud. He can only stay stagnant or lose. Randy's not getting any further with this.
Do you think they ever give Orton another title run?
At most, one more.
A world title run?
That would give him, what, 14?
13.
13? That would put him on the same level as Triple H?
Yeah. Well, I think Triple H is now at
14.
Yeah.
I think, because he won the what championship.
I cannot believe they did that.
Triple H is literally booking himself to win.
But see, the thing is, I was more okay with Triple H being champion
than
at
Roman
40
Reigns.
plus years old than Roman Reigns.
Is he 40 yet? I think
He's over 40.
Just on the other side of 40.
I think he's like 42.
So I know he's not super old.
But
like, he's definitely still ring ready.
so we're both saying Orton.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then, we have to kind of pick two matches on this one, and we'll have to pick who we think it's going to be. So we have the Usos against,
Heath Slater and Rhino.
No, the Usos against. Who did Heath Slater and Rhino just eliminate?
I think they eliminated the Hype Bros.
Yeah, it's the Usos versus the Hype Bros. Whoever wins that will take on.
Was that on Talking Smack?
Yeah.
Well, the Usos are going to win.
So it'll be Usos against.
Yeah.
Slater and Rhino.
They're not going to give Usos that little heel push just to get them kicked out by the Hype Bro.
Yeah.
They're not going to make them lose to Zack Ryder in a handicap match. And then obviously probably Slater and Rhino are going to go over on the Usos.
Yeah. So Slater and Rhino will get the titles, and then Slater will have his SmackDown contract, and that storyline will be over, and then Slater will eventually... What in the world?
That right there is the Women's Six-Pack Challenge, but it's all about Nikki Bella.
Okay, then. That thumbnail is not PG. Anyway. So... Oh, no! No. I was wrong. Okay, so it's not going to be on SmackDown. The match is the Usos versus the Hype Bros. And whoever wins that night at Backlash will have to face Slater and Rhino.
Later on in the night?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll have two matches.
At first you made it sound like the qualifier was going to be on Backlash and they were going to fight for the titles on SmackDown.
No.
Like, that's freaking stupid.
Like, the Usos will face the Hype Bros at Backlash. Whoever wins will face Slater and Rhino at Backlash. So they have two matches that night.
Okay.
And someone mentioned to Daniel Bryan, like, I forget who it said. I think it was Renee Young that said, "Don't you think that's kind of unfair?" He's like, "Not really, because these teams already lost."
It looks like they just tore Gable's ACL, so no. I think this is perfectly acceptable.
So you're saying Slater and Rhino walk out of Backlash as the champions?
They're champs. The champs are there.
And then
he's going to get his double wide. Yes.
Then we have the first ever Women's Six-Pack Challenge elimination match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Okay, hold on. Can I say the other competitor? No, these people need to know the other competitors. Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, Natalya, and Nikki Bella.
You just stop after Becky.
It's either going to be Becky Lynch or Nikki.
It's going to be Becky.
It could be Nikki.
It's not going to be Nikki. It's going to be Becky.
So
Becky is like the fan favorite.
Let's try to guess the... I'm going to say Becky, but I feel like they could put it on Nikki as well.
Nikki's going to be the last eliminated.
By the way, we've agreed on every match.
Nikki is going to be last eliminated.
No, I want to go on the complete... Who's the first eliminated? Because my guess is Carmella.
Carmella. And then Bliss.
And then Bliss.
Then Naomi.
Really? I would say Natalya than Naomi.
No, I think Naomi... I'm basically going in order of their importance.
I feel like Naomi's more important than Natalya.
No. What?
What?
I think the next
Naomi's
feud
a better actress.
out of this is probably going to be Becky and Natty again.
No. Natty's a good wrestler, but she's a horrible actress. Like, really bad. And Total Divas is not helping her. So, we will say Becky will walk out as the champion. And then finally, the main event match of Backlash. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship.
This is hard, honestly. This is the hardest one.
All right. I'll go first then. Styles.
Yeah.
Because here's my theory.
I could totally see it.
Here's my theory. Styles beats Ambrose. Styles will hold it until Mania, where Cena will beat Styles to get that record-tying title run.
Here's what I think's going to happen. I think Dean will hold on to it for now and drop it at Survivor Series. Drop it at a Big Four. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To make it kind of like a grander thing in the Survivor Series. It's like the fourth on the list of the Big Fours. I think Dean will win this one, but then because there'll be. Is there another SmackDown pay-per-view in between here and Survivor Series? There has to be an October one because they're doing 2 a month.
No, we looked this up last time.
I believe it's No Mercy.
Yeah.
No, we looked it up for Raw, and that's how we found out how to sell.
I think it's No Mercy. But do they give Styles 3 title shots in a row? Because I think Styles
they've done it before.
No, they gave him 2.
But still,
I think Styles is the one to take it off Ambrose.
I definitely agree with you there that he's going to be the one that eventually wins. I just don't know if it's going to be now.
And then I think that as much as like people aren't going to want it, they're going to give Cena that.
I think we're going to have like one clean because they're going to fight twice before Survivor Series. They're going to have one clean finish, one dusty finish, and that dusty finish is what's going to set up Survivor Series.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, AJ's going to be like, I didn't lose fairly or something like that. And Daniel will be like, okay, well, here's the thing. You get one last chance. You have one shot. And it's that Survivor Series. If you don't win, you don't get another WWE title shot again. Because they do that shit all the time.
Or they could, like, okay, I know that you're saying he keeps it past this pay-per-view. I think they could do 3 and have AJ win at this next pay-per-view. Dusty finish at the next, and then at Survivor Series have the clean finish.
I don't like that though, because you're not building tension like that. Because AJ's already won.
Unless at Survivor Series they have AJ drop the title again to Dean.
But I like this building tension of, Dean might go over clean at Backlash, but then something weird happens at No Mercy, and AJ's like, this isn't fair. I want another chance. And then so he gets his shot at Survivor Series where he wins clean.
Okay, so say AJ wins the title. Do you agree with me on Cena's going to be the one to take it off of him to get his world record?
I could see it, yeah.
Like his
But
tie.
I don't like Cena going over AJ after we've established that AJ is supposed to have John Cena's number.
Yeah, but Cena could also come back and do the whole underdog
but
thing.
But it's also terrible for Cena to beat Dean because then he's kind of burying a younger talent.
So
it would only make sense for him to beat 2 people on this SmackDown roster, AJ and Randy.
But either way, someone's gonna go over go over AJ.
Well, either way, somebody's probably gonna go over Randy too.
But either way, someone's gonna go over AJ.
Yeah, more than likely.
Joe. Joe's my answer to everything.
Joe should start being our answer to everything because it's basically like a new Finn Balor situation where we're waiting on Finn, we're waiting on Finn. Well, now we're waiting on Joe. Now we're waiting on Joe. Now we're waiting on Joe.
Oh, now we're also waiting on Finn. But that's a whole nother reason.
Well, we got Finn, and now we're waiting on him again.
Oh, he didn't die?
Not yet.
He's going to.
Seth's going to hit him with a curb stomp out of nowhere and kill him. Now it's time to move on to the main event. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, Steel Cage, SummerSlam 1994.
Which, by the way, I want to mention, whenever I looked up this match, I was super confused because the description of the SummerSlam said The Undertaker was facing The Undertaker. I thought it was a glitch or some sort of typo. No, it turns out Undertaker actually fought The Undertaker.
The Undertaker fought The Undertaker. He fought a fake Undertaker. You know who the fake Undertaker was? You're not going to guess. You're not going to know who it is.
Kevin Nash.
Brian Lee.
Who?
Prime time, Brian Lee.
I have no idea who that is.
Exactly. That's why I asked.
It would have been better if it was Kevin Nash.
It was Glenn Jacobs. Glenn Jacobs just plays fake everybody.
Even fake Kane.
He should also have been fake Kane.
Don't know how they would have pulled that off.
Do you know who fake Kane was?
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows.
Doc Gallows.
Doc Gallows.
It's your mother. But anyway.
Let's get to Did you like this match?
It was good. Like, it was okay.
I didn't care. Maybe it's because we didn't get the build-up.
Yeah.
People going into that match live would have gotten the build-up that we didn't
There was
get.
one thing that I really liked about this match, and unless I missed one of these spots, one of the things that always bugs me the most about steel cage matches, besides the fact of the door, because you texted me while you were watching, I was like, in kayfabe, why would they climb rather than just go to the door?
Like, if you're standing up, right, and your opponent is prone, why would you bother climbing the cage, which is going to take a lot of time, even with that old cage, which is like, they're all squares, like, even though that's going to be way easier than doing the chain link, what's just keep you from just walking out the door? Nothing. Your prone opponent, who you can easily shake off when you're standing.
And then, but the moment that I actually liked is there was none of that bull crap where they got to the top of the cage and then looked back and looked to see, well, I could win the title here, or I can
jump.
It's
Bret Hart and Owen Hart. You're not going to get on a high spot at a Hart.
But even like with Jeff Hardy, like even watching Hardy's old matches, or Finn Balor in the steel cage match with Joe, it's like, why? Why even go for it? You could win the title right there. It doesn't matter how bad you hurt him because you're the champion at that point. So fuck the other guy. You hold the belt.
We should watch this match again, but we should have a drinking game. You take a shot every time they show
you don't drink.
Davey Boy Smith and or Jim Neidhart. Take a drink every time they or Stu and Helen, or every time they reach for the door, and every time somebody got their hair pulled.
Have you ever drank?
I had a Jack and Coke one time.
One. Have you ever been even buzzed?
No.
You don't.
That's why I drink Coke.
You don't want to do a drinking game.
I'm taking shots of Coke.
I did a drinking game with The Big Bang Theory. Worst decision I ever made.
Well, first off, your really worst decision was watching The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
That's where you made your mistake.
It was Kyle's idea, so.
I mean, that probably drove you to drink. It drives me to drink, and I guess I'm straight edge. Like
you've had drinks before, so you're not.
I've had a drink.
So that makes you not.
I had a sip of a drink.
Dude, my alcohol doesn't even technically qualify as alcohol almost.
But I don't drink.
My alcohol is 3.2%.
And you still get carded twice for it.
That only happened the first time, okay?
But seriously, like this match, I just didn't care. I guess.
I don't know if I didn't care if it was because I watched it super late, but I guess it was more of a wrestling match, and I guess I more like the high flying, like constant action stuff.
Like that's what you're gonna get out of anybody with the last name Hart. Is you're gonna get a technical masterpiece, and it's gonna be 10 minutes of boring and about 15 minutes of it's gonna be about 20 minutes of boring, 10 minutes of actual excitement.
Also, can we talk about how in kayfabe, if you grab someone's hair, that makes them go backwards?
That makes them go back to where they were.
It's like, why?
I mean, I didn't get hyped for this match until like near the end when Neidhart and Davey Boy Smith were climbing over the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And like fighting each other off. Like the entire Hart family was getting involved in a fight, except for Stu and Helen. Which like Stu started this whole thing. To be honest, these are all his children and children-in-law. This is your responsibility.
You did this.
This is your fault.
Did Natty try to get involved? Would Natty even been born?
Well, it was in '94. She's older than us, so yeah, I would imagine she probably would have at least been at least 4 or 5 years old. Like she's got to be almost 30, right? If she's not 30.
Just a baby Natty like climbing the cage.
Yeah, she's probably about 4 or 5 years old. She's climbing the cage. That cage is really easy to climb.
Diving crossbody.
She slaps a sharpshooter on Davey Boy Smith because she's probably gonna side with her father.
I don't know. Because she constantly uses Brett rather than her.
Because Brett's way more famous than Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
I saw someone on Reddit say, like, I'm almost positive Natty has convinced herself that Bret Hart is her father. Because, like, anytime she gets in any sort of weird situation where she has to bring in, like, whenever she was in the rivalry with the Flairs.
Yeah.
She brought in Brett.
Well, because just Jim Neidhart was never in a rivalry with Ric Flair.
But it's still her father. So, like, she brought
Also, I don't think...
Also, why would
he? There's some that Jim Neidhart has some sort of condition. He doesn't walk that well. I don't think.
Why didn't she bring like everybody then?
That would be great if she brought like whoever was remaining, because there's not really a lot left. Stu's dead. Stu's been dead. Helen's been dead.
So you'd have Brett, Jim.
I'm pretty sure both the parents are dead.
David Boy
British Bulldog's been dead.
Owen's been dead.
Owen's been dead.
Jesus Christ, this family's...
They're not as bad as the Von Erichs, but they're
Tyson, I guess.
He's not a Hart, though.
Technically. He married into the Harts.
He's married into the Harts.
He also can't wrestle anymore, so there's that.
He gets one bump and he's paralyzed. He's just done.
All right, so what's your rating on this match?
Like a 3.5.
Yeah, I'd say 3.5.
Okay, so next week, this is our first ever, not only is it our first ever non-pay-per-view match, this is our first ever women's main event, which is funny because it's also the first ever women's main event of a televised WWE event.
Kelly, Beth Phoenix for the Divas title, where Kelly won.
That neither in kayfabe nor in shoot should ever happen, because Beth Phoenix is a monster.
Kelly, you gotta be kidding me.
But we will be watching Lita versus Trish Stratus on the December 6th episode of Raw.
That was December 4th.
What'd I say?
You said 6th.
Well, it says December 6th right there. I think I said 4th before the show.
Oh.
It'll be on the December 6th episode of Raw.
From 2004.
Which I actually had to look this up because before I could just say a pay-per-view and what year it was. Because, there's only one Survivor Series every year. There's 52 Raws every year.
Yeah, but here in a few years, whenever we're looking back at classic Roadblock matches, there's going to be 2 Roadblocks this year.
There's going to be,
so we can't say Roadblock 2016.
You would have to say, like, the second Roadblock of 2016. Or, like, if you say a main event of, like say if I wanted to say, like, Dean Ambrose versus Triple H Roadblock 2016, you're probably going to know which Roadblock that is.
Yeah.
It's on the poster. Unless they fight at this next Roadblock, too, which would be hilarious.
So, okay. This is just a random question. I know we already just did the main event, but I just thought of this question, so we're going to ramble. Do you like SmackDown so far using names? Backlash, No Mercy, and then we have like the new pay-per-view Roadblock, rather than using names like the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, where you're guaranteed to get a Hell in the Cell match.
We don't have to bring back Elimination Chamber as a pay-per-view. I just want to bring back the Chamber. Because I liked having, like, you would have 6 competitors fighting for a title.
That should be a Survivor Series.
But 2 or 3 of them would not be people that you would expect to see in a main event match. Like, because Kofi Kingston's been in, like, what, 3 Elimination Chambers?
Yes.
R-Truth's been in 2? At least 1.
Yeah.
Like, these are guys that you wouldn't necessarily see in a WWE title match. But you get to see them in a WWE title match, and there's, like, that sliver of a chance that they could win. Just because they're there.
And with the way they've been booking lately, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if, like, they went into, like, an Elimination Chamber and Kofi Kingston won. Just as, like, shock value.
Because
I love shock value title wins, even if they only last for, like, a day, like Zack Ryder's.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder's only lasted for a day. But it was so amazing at the time.
And they can't take it away from him, so.
Yeah, you can't take that moment away from him unless he kills his family. And then they take him off the network. Or not completely off the network, but you won't see his timestamps.
Hogan.
I've actually watched some of the older Raws from, like, 2005, 2004. Benoit, his timestamps are there, but, like, he fought Batista on an episode of Raw. It just said Batista in singles action. They won't give you one. They won't give you one if he wins, because then they have to put, like, Benoit wins or something like that.
They could have put, like, Batista loses.
But, like, they'll do it, like, if Benoit's in the match and he loses, because it'll be like Batista in singles action. Batista prevails in singles action.
They could have put, like, Batista loses in singles action.
Yeah, but they don't want to glorify Benoit winning. I'm surprised, like, WrestleMania 20 is even on the network, because it involves him winning the world title.
Yeah, but then they advertise like you're getting every pay-per-view ever. So
minus the one where Benoit wins the world title. I love how, like, it's kind of ironic that both Eddie and Chris both died right before they were supposed to get another world title. Because Benoit was going to win the ECW title, which really would have legitimized it and probably would have kept it around a little bit longer. Not saying that Johnny Nitro wasn't a terrible champion, he just wasn't ready. Neither was Punk. Punk wasn't ready either. But Eddie was going to win.
Punk thought he was ready.
Eddie died on a Saturday, I believe, or on a Friday or a Saturday, and he was going to win the title that Tuesday.
On SmackDown.
Doesn't that just break your heart?
I never watched Eddie wrestle, so not really.
Like, that destroys me.
Like I don't really get emotional over Chris Benoit or Guerrero because I didn't watch them whenever they wrestled.
Like, that gets me every
now,
time.
If, like, Randy, like, kills his family tomorrow, then...
If had Eddie, like, been alive 3 days longer, he would have been world champion. Again. Like, even if he died after that, he would have died a 2-time champ. Mind you, Eddie always had issues with that, with like he didn't think he was right for it. That was always Eddie's issue.
He never wanted to be champ.
It's not that he didn't want to be champ. He just didn't think he was right, the right fit. Which really, when you look at SmackDown at the time, they only had about 2 or 3 choices. It was either Eddie or like JBL.
The Rock.
It would bring back The Rock. But like it was either going to be Eddie or JBL, which that would have been 2005. Who would have been WWE champion at that time when he died? It would have been World Heavyweight Champion. So it would have been probably Batista. That would have had Eddie going over Batista to win. Because I just realized he wouldn't have been WWE champ because it was late 2005 and John was already back on Raw. Or not back on Raw. He was on Raw. He was never on Raw to begin with.
Well, anyway, I think we rambled past our main event a little bit too much. That was the dark match.
There you go. That's our new segment where we ramble on at the end. It's the dark match. AJ Styles is still on those ropes to this day. But anyways, we'll see you next week on the Jobbercast.